Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Stranded Deep for the PS4. The game is also available for the Xbox One and Microsoft Windows. Stranded Deep is a survival game developed by Beam Team Games. You play as a survivor of a plane crash as you have to survive on the open seas and deserted islands. So what is the game like to play? Well, you have two modes to choose from, normal and permadeath. You start out drifting on a lifeboat and you soon arrive at your first island. Then you'll have a series of tutorials to complete as the game teaches you resource gathering, crafting and building. One thing to note is Stranded Deep's tactile nature. It's not so simple to get wood, build something, and you're done. Like making a fire, you'll need to collect the resources to make a campfire, then craft a pile of kindling, then use the L and R buttons to start the fire. It does add some realism to the experience, but it also makes for an almighty chore when crafting or creating most things. To save the game, you'll need a shelter where you can sleep. The more you do certain activities, the more your stats will increase, and you can view these via your handy digital watch. As with most survival games, you need to eat and drink to stay alive, and it's pretty heavy in terms of resource gathering as well. Like you chop down a tree and you don't immediately get the wood, you get logs, chop the logs, you get sticks, and the same applies to many other things. Again, it feels quite laborious and too much like manual labour, which is where the game kind of falls down. It takes some of the menial tasks of survival a little bit too far, rendering the experience a chore as opposed to something you'll enjoy. You'll be crawling up trees to get coconuts, cleaning them to drink, spearing fish, stabbing crabs and hunting boar. Inventory space is another time-consuming bore, with minimal space making for endless inventory management. The crafting menu, however, is very clean and crisp, but again, to make anything requires a huge amount of time and grinding, and sadly, most of the time, it just isn't worth it. You'll have to create a raft to go from island to island, and it's a turgid process, very time-consuming, and one of the least enjoyable survival experiences I've ever played. It's also important to point out that the game is riddled with bugs and glitches. From buttons no longer working, from getting stuck on the environment, frame rate nightmares and audio distortion. It really shows that the game hasn't truly been product tested, as you would not intentionally release a game in this state. Graphically, it's a bit of a nightmare as well, with awful textures, frame rate issues and visual problems almost the whole way through. The sound is not much better either, with minimal sound effects and some of the most ill-suited music to a survival game you could possibly imagine. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? It's an interesting premise and the crafting menus are simple and clear. What's bad? The graphics are poor and the technical performance is a disaster. The grind is incredibly tedious. The tactile nature of resource gathering and crafting becomes tiresome very quickly. The game has clearly not been properly product tested and it's quite a dull and turgid experience from start to finish. So what's the verdict? Stranded Deep is a difficult game to like or enjoy, whether it be the overly long grind, tedious tactile resource gathering or the abundance of glitches. It's a nice idea, but ultimately it's just a bit boring and unpolished. It's a lot more laborious than most survival games, poorly put together, not properly product tested, glitches everywhere, and one of the ugliest graphical games I think I've played in a while. I mean, I enjoy survival games, I've played loads of them, but Stranded Deep is definitely not one that I would recommend. So with all that being said, my score for Stranded Deep is 5 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.